It may not be our largest project, but it is going to be the most useful.
We bought a 1984 359 Peterbilt, same age as me, but I look better than that one.
I've never gotten to work on any big rigs.
Locked up.
Suddenly he turns into a 7-year-old boy.
Okay, we got nothing.
Whoa.
Is it turning?
Dude, yeah.
It's time for some Peterbilt batteries.
Getting your morning workout.
Yeah, right.
Every productive day starts at the parts store.
Yep, gotta pay my O'Reilly tax.
That's right. We love our local parts store here. Everybody in there is amazing, and they always have what we need. And wow, today we needed Peterbilt batteries.
$600 worth.
What?
Okay, we're going to pay my dad for our Peterbilt. It's a 1984 359 Peterbilt, one of my favorite trucks ever built. And it's got an A model Caterpillar in it. So I'm here processing before I leave the shop, like what do I need? So the engine's locked up. So we're gonna try to break it free. And if we can't break it free, we'll put some batteries on it, put some pressure on it and bump the starter. If it doesn't break free, then we're gonna pull the injectors. So I know from memory that there's a charge tube that goes across the top that needs 2 9/16 wrenches. So I got those here. Then we'll pull the valve covers. That's gonna be a 3/8. Unless somebody stripped the bolts out with the bigger one, then it'll be a 1/2 inch. If there's a bracket on it, it'll have a 7/16 nut on top of it. So I got my sockets for that. Then we have a tube that goes from the injection pump. It's inside the valve cover. There's a fuel tube that goes, one side's a 3/4, other side's 11/16. So I've got those wrenches. The front crank bolts, if I remember correctly, are 15/16. So I've got that so that we can try and bar it over. And then I've got a special tool to take the cap off the injector. So that should be everything I need. If not, we have a lot of stuff on the truck. There's a hole in the bell housing, and this goes in there and catches your teeth on your flywheel. It basically allows you to put a lot of torque on that to see if you can get it turned over. The engine in it was freshly rebuilt by my dad probably 10 years ago. Then the gentleman started painting the truck, he stripped it down, and it just sat. So probably moisture got in the cylinders and locked the engine up. So if we can get it broken free, we'll crank it up. If it doesn't have blow by, we will be happy people if it does. We got a bigger project on our hands. But either way, we're gonna go out there and see if this thing will start.
We just stopped at Aaron's parents' spot, gave them some money, got the title. It's awesome. Now we're headed out to the field where this truck is parked.
Yes. Parts everywhere. You see all these taken apart. And my dad's probably been in the business 45 years. Longer than that, because I'm 40. And it's always fixed trucks. That's what we've done. Rebuild engines mainly. And in his older age, I think he takes great pleasure in disassembling them, like putting them out of their misery. Instead of having to fix it, he just tears them apart and sells the pieces. Here she is, the next addition to Flying Sparks Garage. This is our 1984 Peterbilt 359. I was born in '84, so that has significance. Also, growing up working on these trucks, the 359 in my day was like the classic Peterbilt. At that point, we were working on a lot of 379s, stuff like that. And this to me was like the old school hot rod. We need a truck to pull our race trailer, and I just can't see myself spending $100,000 on a new pickup or $50,000 on a used pickup and then having to deal with all the electronics, the sensors and stuff like that. You guys wouldn't know this, but prior to YouTube, Emily and I actually owned a trucking company, which we still own. We don't have any trucks anymore, but we're very familiar with the business. Operating authority, driving big trucks, big trailers, stuff like that. So this is not intimidating to us. In fact, it's a relief. I understand this engine, it's mechanical, and everything on it's basic. And as you can see, we're in an environment where if I need a transmission, a rear end, any piece to this thing, it's just laying around. And we are excited to get going on it. Apparently the engine's locked up. We think just from it sitting. There's a bar that goes across the top of this hood, and when the gentleman started stripping the paint, he removed that. So probably some water got down in the intake and locked it up. The cool thing about these old engines, they have a lot of clearance. So if we can get that rust out of there and get it turning, the truck will run. It should run pretty good. If it's got a bunch of blow-by, if it burns a ton of oil, then we'll rebuild the engine. But yet again, this is my wheelhouse. Like, this stuff's easy for me. We're super jacked about it. Let's see if this hood will come open. Oh yeah. It's got cables on it, that's good. So what you're looking at is a 3406 A model Caterpillar. You can tell it's an A model versus a B model because the fuel pump is set back here. These are wonderful engines. Everybody wants a B model or an E model, or if you're in the newer stuff, the 6NZ Peterbilt is like the big thing. But me personally, I enjoy something that's got one wire going to it. And if I can get fuel and 12 volts to that wire, this sucker's gonna fire up and run every single day, all day. So I don't see anywhere where water could just dump into the cylinders. This is that charge tube I was telling you guys I'm gonna have to pull off to get to the valve covers. That's not open, and that's not open. So if any water got into this, it would have come through that air cleaner, then had to get through the turbo and up here. So whatever's locked it up is probably just condensation, which means hopefully the rust isn't too thick and it's not done a lot of damage to the cylinders. But the first thing we need to do is get some bars on this and see if it'll turn.
Got a little terrarium in our fender. How's that oil look?
It looks really good. It's a tad bit low, which I'd prefer. That means there's not a bunch of water in there. But the oil looks like brand new.
Wow, I can't even see it on the stick.
Yeah. I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. My dad in-frame overhauled this engine pretty quickly before the guy started taking the paint off to restore it. I could definitely tell it was him because he doesn't paint the heads. When I was younger and I would want to paint parts, he's like, no, we got to leave it bare like this. So people know that it's my overhaul with the rusty head on it. Yeah, you see the alternator's missing. This old truck may not even have AC. Yeah, it's got air conditioner. None of that'll work. There's the AC hoses right there. So this old fan clutch here, the reason it's locked up like that is because it probably started leaking air. And I can see here somebody put a bolt in it to lock it in to make it a permanent fan. That's very common.
And it's hitting the shroud too, and it's all beat up. Like, what's up with that?
I don't know. We got
Pretty
a project,
funny.
That's what's up with that.
It's true. We have a project for sure. There's no doubt about it.
Okay, I'm gonna get a wrench and try to bar this thing over.
Oh my gosh, okay. I personally grew up on this property starting when I was 14, driving around these fields, seeing all these big trucks. But I've never worked on big trucks with Aaron. Anytime he would be off work, you know, when we were kids, he would want to keep his distance from big trucks. He's like, I'm done. I want to work on fun stuff. So I've never gotten to work on any big rigs with him. So this is a new chapter for us. And I mean, I wish I had been filming when we left the shop earlier, picking up all those tools, because he was going through the process out loud. He's like talking about all the sizes of every nut and bolt that we would be working on. And I just love that so much. He is the best. Such a sharp incredible mechanic and human being. And I'm so excited for this chapter of like working on stuff that he's so familiar with. It's awesome. Okay, this is happening. Oh my gosh. You didn't hear me talking about you or anything, did you?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Oh, memory's right. It's a 15/16. If you guys ever see me like climbing up in the boat and kind of stumbling around the shop because my knees are shot, this is why. Climbing up and down off these all day long for 20 years.
Yeah.
And as a young man, you don't think about the fact that when you've got something that weighs 100 pounds in your hand and you jump off the tire from this high up, it's slowly doing damage.
What's up with the shroud?
I mean,
fan. It's like they put too small of a shroud on there and it just ate the crap out of the fan.
It's that, or they couldn't find the right fan, so they put a different fan on it. These Peterbilts, this is a problem. The older ones.
Like the cooling system?
No, just the shroud. It's just kind of janky.
I'll say. Oh my gosh.
Get in there.
Okay.
This is a retired torque wrench, so don't get on to me. Yeah, he's right. Solid. It's locked up. Let's see if we have a short socket. That may work better.
New addition to Garfield the truck that we recently purchased. It's an engine hoist, and we're so pumped about it. It's going to help us pull the engine and drop it in and out of the big boat.
Yeah, it may help pull the head off this thing too.
Be a cool tool addition to the tool truck.
Probably what's going to happen is we're going to put the batteries on it and use this bar and bump the starter. We're not trying to turn it over. We're not holding the key. We're just bump it to try to pop it loose. So it's most likely just a ring that's frozen. Okay, I'll need a bar for that if I can find one.
With the paint being melted off this thing, and it just looks like this crazy patina. I am obsessed with the way, I mean, like the colors. It's just wild and awesome, and I love the texture. But Aaron is like, my dream Peterbilt is not crappy looking like this. So.
Looking for a bar.
Okay. Didn't find anything there, but it looks like he's got something.
Gotta love living in a junkyard. And this bolt takes a 15/16 socket, so obviously it can take quite a bit. But we can still break them off if we're not careful. Locked up. That's positive. Okay, so I'm assuming that's ground. That's ground. Let's see if we got any juice in the cab.
Boy, you look good up in this truck. Yeah, that starter's clicking.
Yeah.
What?
Air conditioner and heater comes on.
Oh my gosh.
Hey. Burp, burp.
Suddenly he turns into a 7-year-old boy.
That's exactly right.
I love it. Shout out to Derek. Love you, bud.
My dad took these batteries off. The nuts will be here, or they'll be in this side thing. Wasn't him. Where could we possibly find nuts for a battery around here?
Aaron's dad just showed up with battery gifts. He brought us these straps that connect the batteries and nuts. And we had just gone on a search for nuts.
We got nuts laying everywhere.
Nuts all over this place.
If you're not nuts when you come, you will be when you leave.
That's right.
I love it. Well, we were already nuts, clearly, because from the moment I saw it a few months ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron had to call his dad and be like, Emily loves that truck.
She's going to be driving a 18-speed for long.
I'm going to learn an 18-speed, that's
Couple
right.
extra gears.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Off he goes.
He just told us the story of how that dent got in the fuel tank. Apparently, he and the guy that owned this truck were out here doing some work on it, and there was some tequila involved. And the guy tried to sleep it off in the cab, but maybe didn't sleep enough.
I feel like there's so many stories with this truck.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
man.
These older truckers are a different breed.
Okay, now we should have some juice.
Should be enough to tear some stuff up.
Oh boy. You want me to stand on this while you do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to move, but
Okay.
just be watching that crank to see if it moves.
Okay. Put constant pressure or kind of pop it?
Constant.
Okay.
It's hard to tell if that starter's trying to engage or if it's...
It's just clicking. The thing is, I feel it in the breakover.
Okay.
Like every time you hit it, I feel the...
Yeah, then the starter is doing its job.
It's engaging.
The last thing you want to do is hold this button down. You will burn all the wires in the starter out of it. We're just trying to shock it. Okay, time to go underneath. See if we can get something freed up down there. Trying to bar it the correct direction.
Okay. We're going to switch places, and I'm going to bump the starter, and he's going to feel how it feels.
Key on, then bump it.
Key on, bump.
Okay. We got nothing.
But was I right that you kind of feel it?
Yeah, I can feel it through the bar.
Okay.
Okey-dokey.
It is the funniest, like, drizzliest, kind of nasty day. So my hair is, like, doing crazy things. But being inside this thing is so rad. It's got a creepy little sleeper and random seats. It's so cool.
Yep. If you're wondering why we're not working on the boat, like, oh, you bought another project, you didn't finish the other one. It's because it's raining outside.
Yeah, we intended on doing.
We were going to work on it today, but it's raining. So we thought, let's go get that Peterbilt project started because we need it this summer. It's going to be a big job. It may not be pretty, but we got to get it running by this summer because we have a lot of trips in the race trailer. So yeah, that's why we're here working on it.
His definition of pretty is different than mine. Because I think as it sits, I think it's pretty. Pretty. Wow. Look at this. It's not actually like a real truck. It doesn't have trucker lady ring. Yeah. It's actually kind of a long way down.
Yeah.
I've got long legs, and that was a little intimidating. Okay, so what are you doing now? Messing with the starter?
There's a plate that goes on the bell housing. We'll get you guys in here, let you see it. I think this is where the tool goes to connect with the flywheel to turn this thing over. Right here. Yep, I feel teeth. That's a good sign. Yeah, what we're doing up front We're trying to turn this at like a 1-to-1 ratio. So we get a lot more leverage if we're able to get this tool in there, because that gear is much smaller than the big bell housing. So we're putting a lot more turn on it by barring it back here. So fingers crossed. I ordered that thing on Amazon. We'll see if it fits. If it does, we're in business.
But let's be honest, no matter what happens, we're still going to be in business. Aaron's got this.
There we go. Wires in the way. Oh, beautiful.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Now, how do I get a wrench in here? I don't know.
That's what I was wondering. All right. He's got the big old breaker on it. Whoa.
Is that slipping or is that turning? Go look at the front.
World.
Is it turning?
Dude, yeah.
No way.
Babe. Yeah.
That freaking starter was locked up.
The fan is moving. Do it again. The fan was rotating too.
Well, I'm about to rotate it with a key. I think the starter engaged, locked up there. I think we were fighting the starter. I think it just disengaged.
No freaking way.
Because that took no effort.
What in the world?
There's no freaking way this thing's about to turn over.
What in the world? I'm gonna freak out. You want me to hit the starter?
Yes, that's next step. Get the El Hammer.
Don't mind me feeling excited that I like realize the next step. Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna bar it over some more. Now,
what in the world?
We didn't set this up.
I can see your face. You're smiling.
We did not set that up. I think the starter's just messed up, and I think when it kicked out.
But how would it have held this so?
I don't know, but that took no effort to turn. So the engine has no problems. We just got to deal with the starter.
Let me rotate that, and you look at this to be sure
I'm
that I'm
grab
right.
a little extension. Oh no, I could feel it. It was turning.
Okay.
What are the chances?
Couldn't be.
Oh,
I mean, it looked like it was rotating.
I guarantee you it was rotating.
We were standing on it. How?
Well, like I said, that's 1-to-1 power. This is a big engine.
How many liters is it?
14.7.
14.7 liters.
All right, is it turning?
Okay. I came on the other side of the engine so I could get a better look at the crank. Okay, I'm ready.
I can hear the valves moving.
Dude, it is rotating, and so is the fan. Everything is. What?
So we just need a starter. If this thing turns over, it'll start. I almost guarantee it. May take a minute to prime the fuel, but it'll run.
Did you and your dad ever have a plush carpet to lay on?
Oh yeah, yeah. We don't do creepers around here because the tires get all gunked up. I mean, you can see this is truck stuff. So we always had cardboard and stuff like that.
You want me to be hitting it?
Yeah, just tap it. What we don't want to do is
Hold it.
Hold it.
Right.
Because this son of a gun will engage and lock itself engaged.
Okay.
And then I will be in a.
I heard you saying that. So.
Is my 9/16 wrench close by? In case I gotta get those batteries off real quick. Yes, thank you.
Okay, so that was a yes to be tapping the starter?
Yeah, turn the key on and tap it. Make sure it's out of gear too.
Out of gear. Feels like out of gear to me.
Okay, tap her.
Key on. First tap.
Okay. Hold it.
I started timing my taps after your hits instead of on the hit. Are you ready for me to tap again?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, hold it. It's getting plenty of juice. You can hear it when it pops hard. Will you take my hat off?
Yes.
Really don't want to mess this one up.
No.
I wasn't in Peterbilt mode when I put that on.
If you like aviation gear, Flight Outfitters makes awesome aviation gear. Badass like bags and everything too, not just clothing. Tap again.
No, I'm trying to get to the starter. Okay, tap. Okay, hold it.
Holding.
Don't hold the button down.
No, I know.
Okay. We need a starter.
Disconnecting the batteries so they don't
Yeah.
drain.
I'm going to take the starter off. I don't want
Oh,
a
yeah.
nuclear bomb in my truck. We're going to pull this starter off, and on these trucks, because all the power runs to the back lugs on the starter, you got a ground and a positive side on it. We take all the positives and we zip tie them together. That way nothing's confused, and then we'll take the grounds and zip tie those together. So when the new starter's in, we just undo that one zip tie at a time, bolt it up, and then do the other one. Makes things a lot easier. So sometimes that lug will spin inside the solenoid, and it's a pain. Those are our two main ground lugs. And this one should go back and connect to the starter. Cool. So those are the two grounds that we need to zip tie. These are, like, we know those are grounds. They're black coming from the battery. So we'll just connect these two little guys, and we don't have to worry about mixing things up. Positive to the battery. Positive to the battery. And here's the main source for the truck. And that's all the positive side we have. So we'll just put a red on that. And we know if we get that hooked up, and then we get our two positive lugs from the batteries, everything's going to work.
But that starter's heavy when it comes down.
It weighs a few pounds. I had a 5/8 socket that I may have set on that leaf spring there.
Right here.
It's not that it's tight, it's that my fingers are too fat to get in there. Oh, that's the ticket right there. Oh, the memories.
One bolt out.
Yep.
Three
Look how
more to
massive
go.
that is.
It is big. That is long.
Yep. Yeah, that was easy. Most diesels, you don't have to worry about stuff being rusted in. Always well lubricated. That one was kind of rusty though. Okay. I'm finding the way to the starter.
Okay. Bolt from the top.
Yep, you'll see it down in there. It's 12.58. I don't know if it's loose enough yet.
Not quite.
We had a ratchet wrench, it'd be so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
I can move this around too, might make it easier.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yep. Almost there.
Go.
Oh, are you ready for this?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, it's out.
Okie dokie. 30 years of dirt on my face.
I can hear it all falling on you. Oh my goodness.
Come on out.
Look at that behemoth. Oh my gosh.
Jeez, I'm weaker than I used to be.
That dang thing.
All right.
It's out.
Now I need my hammer. I'm going to beat the snot out of it and get some jumper cable, try to make
Here's
it
your
turn.
hammer.
She's turning. Get some jumper cables.
This looks exciting.
Yeah. You give me 2 screwdrivers so I can hotwire this thing.
You want me to be banging on it when you do the things?
We'll see what it does.
This is awesome. I'm like nervous. Oh, oh. Dude, that's so freaking cool.
It's actuating, it's just not spinning. Hit on it while I'm activating it, please. Okay. We need a starter. Easy enough. We'll just beat the logo up. Yeah, when we get it, we'll just have to clock it the way we need it, and then we'll throw her in.
All right, the next time y'all see us, it'll be time for more progress. We'll have a fresh starter, and I bet we get to hear this thing run. Time to go pick up that big old starter, boy.
Yeah. Right, I got my coffee in me, so I'm ready.
Don't you wish your wife could help you? Instead, she's up here filming you. Ridiculous.
All right. I clocked a little bit different, I think. 1, 2, 1. Yep, we got to reclock it. Little thread locker. Right.
We're going to give you guys a walk around of this truck. It is a really, really cool one. And when we first pulled up with this truck in Aaron's dad's yard, I fell in love with it. I was like, I want that. And Aaron was like, that's a Pete 359. Like, that's the truck.
Yep. I didn't have to convince her. When she said, I want that, I was like, okay, act cool, pretend like it's not that big of a deal. But yes, I want it too. So I'm looking at the apportioned tags here. 2004, that means it's been off the road for 21 years. Which is crazy because this is a 1984 model, which means it's been off the road longer than it was ever on the road. Which is crazy. It's got some work we need to do. Old hood. These Pete's, if you've been around them, man, the hoods just, they take a beating because they don't shut super well. People just slam them over. There's always a finesse to it. You want to close it here and just kind of wiggle it until it falls in place. Otherwise, this will happen. It's got really good bones. She's got the Corvette dash in it, which I'm absolutely in love with. That's my favorite dash that's ever been put in a truck. These tend to have a more narrow cab than like the 379, but that's okay because Emily and I like each other. So we're cruising around close to each other. Our dog's small, so we don't need like a big area for him to sit between us. I'm really digging it. It's got everything we want. It has a sleeper on it. If this was just me building a cool truck, it wouldn't have a sleeper, but the kids started traveling with us. So that's a really neat place for her to hang out, be on her iPad, studying aviation, all that good stuff. Maybe she can cook me a meal while I'm driving. That'd be neat. We're pretty jacked about it. It's a very nice rig. I know it doesn't look like it right now, but I can see the beauty in it. Got to get some tanks for it, obviously. A little whiskey dent there, or as the story goes, a tequila dent, from what I was told. So we're gonna get some more narrow, fancy looking ones. My dad is adamant that they'll sell me some tanks, but they gotta be the sexy, slender ones. Stalker ends, those are all great. Transmission's a 13-speed. That should all function fine because this guy was running this down the road. I'm assuming the transmission rear ends are good. Who knows, we'll probably have to change airbags and some air hoses, stuff like that. You know, it just kind of rusts. It kind of rots out when it sits outside. But once we get it running, we'll see where the problem areas are. I didn't buy this as I need a truck right now and let's go trucking. I bought this because a new pickup's $100,000. It's depreciating all the time. You spend 100 grand on it in 4 years, it's worth 50. And I don't lose money like that. I can't afford to. I don't like that. So the thought was buy a big truck, something I'm super familiar with. I mean, this is second nature to me. Fix it up, it doesn't matter if you put miles on it. It doesn't decrease the value at all. And we'll have a truck for many, many years to run. It's simple. There's not any electronics. There's one 12-volt wire that runs that engine. Then you got the wiring for the alternator. And of course the lights and all that. But as far as just basic functionality, it takes one wire to run this engine. And that gives me peace. I know I can make it function if we're out on the road. Got some big old mufflers on there. You guys know those have to go. We need some 6 or 8 inch stacks going straight up so we get that good rumble out of it. I've got the sun visor for it. It's sitting in the cabin back there. The original air cleaner, it's right back here on the back. It's ugly. Emily wants to clear coat it. I want to paint it. I'm probably gonna do both. Probably gonna clear coat it, get through the next couple summers, and then we'll take it in as a big paint project. As you guys know, we have gobs of vehicles and boats and things like that we're working on. And this one, the goal immediately would be get it running, make it safe, and hit the road, because we have a lot of trips coming up this summer, and we want to pull the race trailer. We want to be better about bringing our cars to you guys so you can see them, bringing merch if you guys want to buy some merch, and this is the ticket that's going to get us there. So we got enough aluminum wheels to make her pretty, get those all polished up. I realize they're not Peterbilt wheels, but you know, it's fine. It's not a big deal to me. We're very excited. This is going to be a fun project. I work on these hot rods all the time, the boats and things like that, and I do it because I have a good understanding of mechanical things, but this I actually have memorized. You could ask me any bolt on this and I'd tell you what size it is, what pitch it is, and what wrench you need or what socket you need to get to it. So it's almost like when I'm working, I'm just doing it's just a task. My body's busy, but my brain is just kind of free and able to do other things, which is very nice every once in a while. I think some people call it meditation. I certainly do. Here we go, the fun part.
I hope you ate your Wheaties, babe.
Yeah. This thing weighs like 3 LS heads.
Dude.
No doubt, I'm working on this. I realize I've gotten weaker in some areas working on cars. This takes special muscles in special areas.
Okay, so I've got my bolts here and I need to start that top one once you get it in place, right?
Yeah, I'll let you know. Okay, big mama jumbo. What's it hitting? I'm hitting something on the frame or something. Maybe this wire.
Good job. Okay. I can get this bolt in.
Goodness.
Goodness.
That thing is a handful for a scrawny boy like me.
Kind of trying to wiggle to get my thread started, but okay, that shift helped me. My bolt is starting.
Yeah, mine's starting too.
Okay, that bolt is started.
Cool.
Yay!
Let me have a wrench. Wrench.
Wrench. It's wrench, yeah, I think.
Nope. Oh, well.
You had it right there.
I had that one in my teeth almost.
Good job, my love.
Thank you. Got all our bolts started. We'll do that before we tighten anything. Okay. It's tight.
It's as tight as I can get it. We'll let Aaron check that top bolt. See.
What's that?
It's ready for you to check.
Okay. Yep, I need a cheater though.
Oh, gotcha.
You're not getting this tight enough with just a single wrench.
Gotcha.
That should be tight enough. Starter's tight, wires are on, I think back in the same place. We tried. It's time to clean up those battery terminals, hook the big boys back up, and see if this thing will go for a whirl. These things he gave me are pretty freaking awesome.
They're nice. Connect the batteries instead of cables.
Yeah, normally you have these that jump across it. And those work, but they're cumbersome.
That's like really nice.
Yeah, you said these came off of Volvo. No, say Volvo. So I'm all about the free upgrades.
Heck yeah.
Kind of free.
Kind of earned it.
Kind of earned it over the years.
I put one bolt in with anti-seize and somehow I have it all over my arm.
Yep.
That's how it always goes.
Yeah, this truck really requires 4 batteries. But, you know, we thought we were dealing with a locked up engine, and, you know, batteries, they have a shelf life, so I didn't see any reason in spending all the money on batteries if we didn't know if it was going to run. So.
Oh, this is looking serious.
Yeah, I think it's time to hit the key and just see if that starter will do anything. If it doesn't, gigs up. I want a refund.
Gigs up. I think this thing's gonna make noise. That's
Yes.
what I think.
And we got to get some fuel up to it, see if it'll actually run.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
There we go. Get up. Hurry. I'm ready to hit the key.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Go time?
I think it's time.
Key on. Am I tapping it or am I?
Just bump it, see if the engine turns.
Okay.
If it starts, which is probably not going to happen, turn it off.
Okay. Key on. Ready for a bump?
Yep. Spin her a little bit.
Oh my gosh. This is amazing. Okay, when you say spin it, you mean hold it.
I just want to hear how the engine sounds. Just, yeah, hold it for a second.
I'm going to hold it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Oh my gosh. Dude, that thing's going to light up once it's got fuel pressure.
Yep. We just got to get some fuel to it. I'm sure the tanks are nasty. I talked to my dad this morning. He said, hey, I got a starter I'm going to throw on there. He said, do not start it with that fuel that's in the tanks. So he's going to round those up a can and a hose to run down to the can. So we'll get that set up and then we'll see if she'll fire. Heck yeah.
Heck
High five.
Yeah. Dude, this is happening.
Yeah.
It sounds good. Like it sounds like it's turning over. Like once it's got fuel.
There's a consistent cadence. Like I didn't hear anything sounding funny, no valves, nothing like that. So I think we're in good shape.
Dude. Pumped.
Okay, so diesels tend to grow algae in the fuel. It's not like gasoline that turns to that tar junk. This literally grows like microorganisms in it, and it'll get kind of sludgy and jelly. So we don't want to put that through an injection pump. So what I'm doing is on a diesel like this, especially the older ones, you have an injector pump. This pumps out like 2,000 PSI to the injector. The injector is like think of it like a check valve. It's got a spring that's designed to pop at a certain pressure. And when it hits that pressure, it sprays the fuel. It's also got a lift pump, which is right down here. It's a small pump. Think like your 350 Chevy pickup that's got the fuel pump right there over on the side. That's what this guy does. We're going to unhook it there. We could unhook it this side of the fuel. Yeah, let's do that. I'm trying to see where they've got all this running. Fuel line goes here, wraps around. Oh, they got this junk all rigged up. So here's our main hose. That goes to this side of the primary filter. So if I just take this loose right there, that'll get the job done. And then we can drop this one down into a can. So I'm going to do that.
He does have some hungry cows. They have been making some noise. And here they come. He loves his cows. Break it loose for you?
Mm-hmm.
Good deal.
It's supposed to be 87 degrees today. 2 weeks ago, it was 19 degrees.
Your dad's so sweet out here.
Yep, he likes those cows. They've treated him better than trucks have, I promise you that. All they want's a little food and some water to drink. They're pretty simple creatures.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that goes to that side of the lift pump, comes out of that side of the lift pump, goes up to the secondary. Comes out of the secondary. That goes to a fuel gauge inside. That's a return line. That's the main feed. I'm going to go ahead and crack these injector tubes loose. That's how we'll know we're getting fuel.
We got a calf that's curious about us.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, she's like, what's that yellow truck over there? Oh, two little white-faced calves.
Yeah, they've had a lot this season.
Oh, look at that one. Oh, buddy, got alarmed. That's a new baby. Okay, focus, Emily. Focus.
Just loosening these. Here comes the boss. Get them all loose. Get some diesel on it, then hand pump it. We should have fuel.
You sure got some cute babies over there.
Oh, ain't they?
They're so cute.
I love them.
I love them.
So Bob's got his quite a rig going on.
Okay.
This is my fuel hose that
Mhm.
goes to the lift pump.
Mhm.
Look how tiny that is.
Well, going to the lift pump,
Mm-hmm.
and this is coming from here.
It was going there, went to right here. This hose wraps around and goes to the filter. So I just took it off the lift pump
This
itself.
is going to the lift pump.
Yeah.
Coming from the lift pump.
No, the one coming from it is goes through the frame, then up here to this. Yeah.
This one comes from the fuel pump,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes to there.
Yep.
It goes from here,
That one goes to the cab for a gauge.
the
Yeah.
front and the back of the pump, and
Yeah.
the gauge.
Yeah.
So you need to replace this filter.
Mm-hmm.
We need to delete this filter. This one should be going
I-
to the.
So I think what he did was this hose runs way back here and
One of
goes
these
right here.
should go to the tank. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the hell?
So he had it wrapped around there, and then this went to the lift pump.
He's trying to back it up instead of get more power, wants less.
I saw that. I was like, man, he was probably down on power.
Probably got a bird nest in his breather too.
Probably. So I think if we just put this in the can
We just have to go. Yeah.
and then replace that secondary filter.
It's hard to see that. What it's doing.
Microphone.
Oh, sorry about that.
All right.
Dang it.
Thank you.
Never had one of them before.
I wanted them to be able to hear you.
Well, we need to put that filter on there for sure. We got to
Yep.
have one filter,
Okay.
and
We'll
it
get,
should work. I got your can of fuel right on the
Oh.
truck here,
thank you.
tractor. I mean, isn't that crazy? Why did he do all that? I don't understand that.
We're just on an adventure with this truck, I feel.
Mm-hmm. Listen, Emily, you might have to put this hose on it before you go to California. See? It needs one of them.
It might. I was actually thinking of.
What we need to do is
to
buy
go.
out a hose company to be able to fix this truck
Right.
completely.
We need an inventory,
Yeah.
a warehouse.
All right. Hold my filter for me. Thanks for bringing that filter.
Yes, sir. I said, just give me just a little bit.
Yeah.
I just scooped the hay up and got y'all's necessities.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much.
Beat that with a sledgehammer, it'll come loose.
Yep.
Oh, Lord have mercy. You almost got it, Aaron.
Yeah, it was almost there.
I don't think this is going to work, but I'm going to try.
You can beat it with a hammer. No, maybe. You know, look at there. It's moving.
Oh yeah.
It's moving. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're going, man. I love these old cats.
I do too.
When I first started working on trucks, this wasn't even made yet.
Really?
Yeah, this is 10 years newer than,
I mean,
this is modern equipment.
B models were prevalent when I started with you.
Mm-hmm.
A models were kind of the old thing,
Mm-hmm.
but the
And they were
bulk.
pre-combustion chamber, all of them,
Yep.
when I started. This is DI. This is pretty dang fancy.
Yeah.
Pretty
I don't
dang
think there's a
fancy.
lot of difference in this and a B model. Just
No,
that pump
I
and
don't think so either. It's very similar.
yeah.
Head'll interchange.
Mm-hmm.
I think the block will.
Really?
I think so. I've never tried it, but the front cover and the steel plate up there is different.
Mm-hmm.
I got about 50 of them things. I wish there was a market for it. Yeah, you can't use that.
Mm-mm.
Nasty stuff.
That'll fight us. Sure, there's not a...
You know what? I'd loosen those injector lines too, and I'd let it
I
pump
did.
all that shit out.
Yep.
Yep.
Have you already spun it?
We didn't spin it.
You need new fuel in there.
Yeah, exactly.
And wash it through before you put it in your injector.
Exactly. We were waiting to actually try and crank it till we had good fuel pressure.
I've got 55 gallons of transmission fluid up there.
We brought some transmission fluid too. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That feels like it's not doing much.
Well, you got your hose in the can.
Not yet. I was just trying to pull that.
Did it
Emily,
prime
will
a
you
little bit?
set that can up here?
Did you
so
prime that filter?
Yeah.
He's working on it
Okay.
now.
All right.
And
You'll want to set it on that
Just hang
steering.
on.
okay.
I'll make you crazy by helping.
You want me to hold it here like this? I know I can't for
Baling wire?
the long run, but
We've
Baling
got a zip tie right there underneath that carpet. A little red one.
here we go.
Ooh, I hope that's a
You seen these?
American made.
They're
Oh, got a release.
Yep.
Cool. I always had to stick my pocket knife in there to get them
Mhm.
loose.
They're awesome.
Oh, yeah. You know, some places you buy them, they just break in half when you pull them.
absolutely.
Good friend Mike Patey and Chandra Patey sent us those.
It's actually priming.
Yay. Yeah, I see some resistance
Ooh,
there.
now you got your lines loose.
Yep. There comes the fuel.
Ooh, wee, that's some good fresh
All
stuff
right.
there.
I got some ether too.
Ooh,
Yeah, keep
awesome.
pumping there.
Yeah.
Get all the air you can out because we always crack them at the top. You know?
Yeah, I was kind of avoiding that. We'll go up there if we have to.
Break a gasket loose. We do have 300 or 400 more of them if you need them.
Yeah, he said that if we have to, we'll do that. But... Ooh, that's
It's doing
exciting.
something, don't it?
Heck yeah.
Can't believe that thing.
Look at the PSI of that read.
Mm, dang it.
Dang, man.
Cool.
Shitting in high cotton.
That's right. I bet it cranks right up. The oil looks like brand new. I don't think you ran this since you overhauled it.
I think he changed the oil because it locked up and he didn't know what to do. And I asked him, I said, Bob, what's your oil look like? So he just went and changed it.
Got it.
But then and probably the starter took a poop on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then it set, you know, because it was locked whenever I tried to pull it when I bought it.
Yeah, we stood on that breaker and it.
And Bob
moved.
says, you know, this would be perfect project for Aaron and them. And I said, well, I'll talk to him about it, but I don't know if he,
And then we showed up and
I
fell
don't
in
know
love
if
with
he's
it.
that interested.
Did he know that I would like look at that thing being all stripped of
Oh,
paint
you
and
know,
looking homely?
He thought it had your name on it.
Well, he happened to be right. I need to
Yeah.
give him a hug. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
he's
that
great.
is so
Old,
funny.
old friend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got about 200 people that I feel like are just uncles of mine. It's
Mhm.
because they've been around here forever.
Truckers.
Yes,
their trucks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
That
you know
is
what?
awesome.
We have the best customers in the world.
Absolutely.
They're all friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you're
If
still
they're
working
not-
on their junk.
If they're not, they go somewhere else. If they don't like me, they gotta leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, he closed his business about 20 years ago and they just keep showing up. Okay, I'm gonna look in the turbo, make sure there's nothing that's gonna suck up in there.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, bird nest.
Oh, yeah.
Glad I took that off. It would have just chewed it up and spit it out, but still. It won't eat a washer though. That tears stuff up. I've done that too. Okay, I'm hitting the key.
Oh my gosh. Dude.
Like half duty, and it's a little bit easier on it.
Nice.
Anytime it goes, I have put the pistons out and all the rings
Ugh.
off in a million.
Yes. Better to be easy on it. This is going to be Aaron Cam because he's going to hit the key.
Okay, clear?
smoke.
Nice.
You got an Earl leak.
Big old oil leak.
Oh, nice.
Yes, damn it. You're gonna have to dig that grass up.
That's the old filter.
That looks awfully thin, Aaron.
Yeah, it does.
Might need to change oil.
Yeah. Well, we needed to shut it off anyways because the chains are still in the airbags.
You got a rag?
Yes.
You're
You
gonna
gotta
get
lift
your
the rag.
hands where you cannot get them clean. Make sure it's not just loose or something. That looks extremely thin, like there's a lot of fuel.
Yeah. The funny thing is it wasn't over full.
Okay.
Oh, it is thin. And it does smell like diesel.
It sounded so good though.
Mm-hmm.
And it cranked up without ether
Isn't
and
that
everything.
something? Man, I was ready.
You had it ready and it was just like
Yeah, 'cause
popping off.
a lot of times engines
Look at
That's
that.
they
loose.
build.
It's loose. So they
Isn't
just
that
didn't
crazy?
tighten it when they did the
I
oil.
don't know what he
change?
did.
Well, clearly it's been running like that for a while. So, I don't know.
There's no telling. There was no fingerprints on it, was there?
No.
Well, but it's been a while, so. Holy cow.
Oh, yeah. It's got
You
diesel in
got a
it.
bad injector.
Yep. Oil pressure was great. It jumped right up.
Very nice. 80 pounds.
Yeah. Oil on a rag won't do that. That's diesel.
Yep. And this here, diesel.
Mhm. Yep. The way it spreads out.
Here's your sign.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's pretty exciting that it runs.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Y'all give me a ride when you get done?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we got a runner, babe.
Yes, we do.
Oh my gosh.
We've apparently got a bad injector, or one of those tubes that goes over to the injectors might be bad. Because once we cranked it and it spit all that oil out, oil filter was loose, no clue why, but it was super runny. So there's no point in changing oil till we find what's causing diesel to be in there. That's the blow-by tube.
Gosh. Roxy needs one that big.
Yeah. Right there on the valve cover, 450 horsepower, 400 horsepower, sorry.
Oh yeah.
That's plenty.
It's the torque that matters on these bad boys.
Everything is torque.
Mm.
Tune-up feels good.
Oh, that was supposed to be like that because the valve's down.
That's a exhaust valve. That's supposed to be at about 27 thousandths, I think.
Those fuel lines, you're not sure yet?
We're going to crank it and look at them. It's going to be in there somewhere. I see more liquidy stuff.
Oh yeah, like this looks dry and this looks
Yeah.
wet in here. Cool, cool.
Oh boy.
You want some pliers?
Nope.
Oh, nice. Ha. I love your tricks.
I have tricks because I've worked on trucks my whole life, and you got to climb up and down, and that gets boring and frustrating. I need a light, and I need you to hand pump over there.
Light.
Okay.
Hand pump. Okay. Tell me when.
Yeah, just get to pumping.
Okay. Do you have to spin
You
it
gotta
out to
unscrew
release
it.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wow, you gotta push hard.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. You need some leverage. Okay. Lord. Oh my gosh. My freaking
It's okay. Leave
elbow
it
just popped.
there. Can you grab me a 3/4 inch wrench?
Yes, sir. There you go.
Okay.
You're welcome. I'm here to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. So do you need me to keep trying here?
No. Just give me a second. I'm just checking the hoses, make sure we don't have an obvious loose one. Okay, everything's tight on that side.
Okay, so Aaron just said we're gonna crank it up and let it run for a sec to see if he can find where this fuel leak is coming from. Go time?
Yeah.
Key on and start. Seems to run so good. It does have a little bit of a, I don't know if that's a miss or shut it off. Key is off. The key is off. The key is off.
Key's off?
Yeah, key is off.
Oh boy. Give me some wire snips, quick like.
Good job.
I got it.
Good job.
I just pulled the wire loose.
Oh my god. Oh, why?
I
That
mean,
wasn't just dieseling. Maybe just like,
No, it's apparently that switch is not wired into it.
okay.
They probably got it on toggle or something. I just pulled the wires out of the fuel pump, which were twisted together with no tape on them, so it was convenient.
Okay. Dang, that got my heart rate up. Oh Lord. I take it you didn't see anything?
Well, I kind of got distracted by the thing not turning off.
Okay.
I hear oil running back in it. That sounds a whole lot like diesel.
Sounds liquidy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that.
And that lift pump can certainly do it. The injection pump can do it. Or like my dad was saying, an injector, but I didn't see anything coming out around the injectors. One thing we can do is put new oil in it so we can run it longer and help diagnose it. And then we'll probably put some dye in that. The lift pump's fairly easy to pull down. I believe it's 2 7/16. And we can see if diesel's coming out of the end of it.
We're not going to get air in our lines because I left this out, are we?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll push it back in on that. She fires up and runs so smooth.
It does. I could kind of see like I don't know if it's supposed to do that, but it just kind of had like a stutter between.
The bobbling?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty normal when an old engine like this is cold.
Okay.
That'll go away. My dad's initial thought was injector.
Mm-hmm.
And when you just throw something out there, you got to pay attention because he has a lot of experience with these. But I do know that lift pump, it goes into this main shaft here. It runs off this main shaft. It will allow diesel through it. I didn't hear any crank noise or anything like that. It sounded really good.
These are the two wires you pulled apart?
Yeah, that's what was
Oh
together.
my gosh. Okay, so turn the key on.
Turn the key on. I'm going to see if it clicks.
Okay. Key on.
Hey, that's working. Key off.
Key off.
Key on.
Okay. Key on.
Key off.
Key off.
Well, it's working for some reason.
Oh my goodness. We have a Peterbilt, you guys. This is so
And it
awesome.
runs. It runs. We bought it knowing that the engine was locked up. Turns out if it was locked up, it was very lightly locked up. That tool did a really good job of spinning it over. And then we hit the key and it frickin' runs. I can't believe it. Had good oil pressure. So things are looking good. We've obviously found that we got a fuel leak somewhere in the oil system. Probably a bad injector like my dad said, maybe a lift pump, maybe an injection pump even. But we're way ahead. We thought we were putting an engine in it and we're not. That's all we can do today. It's a beautiful day, so we're gonna go back over, work on the boat some. So next time you see us out here working on this, we're gonna change the oil, put a new filter on it. We'll try to figure out where that fuel's leaking into the oil system. And then it's time to actually run it a while, get the air pressure built up and see what we bought.
So freaking excited. We can't wait to see y'all's comments. Do you like the patina like I do? I mean, it's kind of an injustice because it's not currently a nice truck, but it has the potential to be such a nice truck. Aaron wants to eventually paint it really beautiful, which I support. But when I first saw this truck, I was like, oh my goodness, I've never seen such a patinaed Pete. So we do actually have an idea for a name too. How do you guys like Optimus Grime instead of Optimus Prime?
I think it fits pretty well.
If you watch the Transformer movies, then you would get it. But I think it's pretty hilarious.
Yep.
If we did a full beautiful restoration on it, it would no longer fit. But it's kind of like part of its story. So I think it's pretty hilarious.
That's right.
Optimus Grime 359.
Yep, that'll work. We're very excited about it. I've been around trucks my whole life. Emily and I used to own a trucking company, so the big truck, oh my gosh, you got to deal with the DOT, all that. I get it. It's scary for some people. It's not for us. We've been in this business our entire lives, so good deal. Don't have to buy another pickup the rest of my life. Just keep this one running.
So excited. We appreciate y'all so much, and we are so looking forward to the next episode on this project.